1976. America still carried the weight of the Vietnam War. The economy was struggling. But in the middle of the uncertainty, radio became a refuge for an entire generation. Today, we're looking back at 10 songs that dominated the charts in 1976 and, for one reason or another, never left the same mark again. Let's begin. Number 10. Play That Funky Music, Wild Cherry. The story begins on an ordinary night in Pittsburgh. Rock band Wild Cherry took the stage, expecting to play hard rock for the crowd. But the audience wanted something else. They wanted groove. They wanted funk. Then someone shouted to singer Rob Parisi, "Play that funky music, white boy!" Parisi didn't get offended. He grabbed a drink order pad, and within minutes, one of the most infectious songs of the decade was born. Driven by energetic guitar riffs, an unstoppable bass line, and a disco funk groove, the song exploded. It spent 3 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, sold over 2 million copies, and earned a Grammy nomination. Wild Cherry never matched that success, but every time that chorus plays, the spirit of 1976 comes alive again. Number 9. Love Hurts, Nazareth. Many people believe Nazareth wrote this heartbreaking song, but the truth is, Boudleaux Bryant wrote it in 1960, and it had already been recorded by several artists before reaching the Scottish band. In 1974, Nazareth transformed it with heavier guitars, raw emotion, and a haunting sense of heartbreak. But it took 2 more years before America truly embraced it. Once it did, the song became unforgettable. Dan McCafferty's raspy voice paired with soaring guitar work gave Love Hurts its unforgettable power. The song reached number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 and entered the top 10 in several countries. Nazareth continued performing for decades with a loyal fan base, but in the United States, no other song reached the same heights. To this day, Love Hurts remains the band's defining hit in the American market. Number 8. More, 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 Andrea True Connection. The story behind this song feels like something out of a movie. In 1975, Andrea True was in Jamaica when financial regulations prevented her from taking her earnings back to the United States. Instead of letting the money sit there, she had an idea: record a song. She teamed up with producer Greg Diamond, and together they created a track filled with seductive disco grooves and unforgettable guitar work. Released in 1976, the song climbed to number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 and dominated dance floors around the world. The unexpected success put Andrea in the spotlight, but her follow-up releases never reached the same heights. As disco faded, she gradually stepped away from the spotlight, leaving behind a timeless hit that continues to be sampled by modern artists today. Number 7. Dreamweaver, Gary Wright. In 1972, George Harrison, yes, the Beatle, invited Gary Wright on a trip to India. Just days before they left, Harrison handed him a book, Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda. Wright read it, then read it again, completely fascinated. While reading one of Yogananda's poems, one line stopped him cold. The idea of the mind weaving dreams. Dream Weaver. He wrote the title in his notebook and forgot about it. Then, during a weekend in the English countryside, he picked up his guitar. Within an hour, the song was finished, as if it had written itself. Built almost entirely around synthesizers, the track sounded unlike anything on the radio. It reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became one of 1976's most unforgettable hits. Although Wright later scored a smaller hit with Love is Alive, Dreamweaver remains his defining musical legacy. Number 6. Fooled Around and Fell in Love, Elvin Bishop. Elvin Bishop was a blues guitarist, loud, gritty, and known for playing straight from the soul. But in 1976, he wanted to try something different, a romantic ballad. There was just one problem. His rough, road-worn voice didn't fit the song's gentle melody. So he made an unusual decision. He handed the lead vocals to Mickey Thomas, then a member of his band. Thomas's soaring, emotional voice, paired with the soft melody, connected with millions. The song climbed to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became Bishop's biggest hit. Bishop remained a respected figure in blues, but he never returned to the top 10. And Mickey Thomas? A few years later, he became the lead singer of Jefferson's Starship. The rest, as they say, is history. Number 5. Right Back Where We Started From, Maxine Nightingale. J. Vincent Edwards heard Maxine Nightingale singing backing vocals and instantly knew he had found the perfect voice. He and producer Pierre Tubbs already had a title, Right Back Where We Started From. There was just one problem. The song didn't exist yet. So, while driving to the hospital, where Tubbs' wife was about to give birth, they wrote it in just 7 minutes. 7 minutes. The demo was recorded in a tiny London studio with session musicians who had no idea they were making a future hit. The result was an explosion of Motown-inspired energy, hand claps, and soaring strings. Released in 1976, the song reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. Maxine kept recording and performing, but she never matched that peak. Even today, when those opening chords begin, someone, somewhere, can't help but smile. Number 4. A Fifth of Beethoven, Walter Murphy. Disco fever was sweeping across America when classically trained composer Walter Murphy came up with an idea that sounded almost outrageous. Take the opening theme of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony and transform it into a modern disco hit. The result was a vibrant instrumental that proved, to everyone's surprise, classical music and the dance floor could coexist. Driven by lush strings, bold brass, and an irresistible rhythm, the track reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and sold millions during the disco era. Murphy went on to compose film scores and built a long, respected career. But he never had another pop hit on that scale. Even so, he opened a door that few musicians had dared to push before. Number 3. Convoy, C.W. McCall. In 1976, an unlikely anthem emerged from the world of advertising. Bill Fries, an advertising executive, had created the character C.W. McCall for a bread commercial. Together with musician Chip Davis, he turned the fictional truck driver into a real recording artist. Inspired by the CB radio craze and American trucker culture, they wrote Convoy. A song told entirely through CB radio conversations between truckers crossing America in protest against the national 55 miles per hour speed limit. Its rebellious spirit, unforgettable chorus, and authentic CB slang made listeners feel part of a hidden world. The song reached #1 on both the Billboard Hot 100 and the Billboard Hot Country Singles chart. Its success even inspired the 1978 film Convoy, directed by Sam Peckinpah and starring Chris Christopherson. Bill Fries never repeated that achievement, but Convoy remains one of the most unique #1 hits of the 1970s.
Yeah, we got a little old convoy. Ain't she a beautiful sight?
Number 2, Afternoon Delight, Starland Vocal Band. In 1976, Bill Danoff and Taffy Nivert of Starland Vocal Band were dining at Clyde's restaurant in Washington, D.C., when they noticed an item on the menu: Afternoon Delight. The phrase caught their attention and inspired a playful song about romantic afternoon encounters.
Afternoon delight.
With smooth 4-part harmonies, gentle folk pop melodies, and lyrics that practically smiled on their own, the song quickly won over listeners. The single reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, won the Grammy Award for Best New Artist, and became one of the biggest hits of 1976. But nothing that followed could recapture the same magic. Starland Vocal Band broke up in the early 1980s, and Afternoon Delight remains their signature song. The hit almost everyone knows, even if few remember who recorded it. Number 1. Get Up and Boogie, Silver Convention. In 1976, German disco group Silver Convention set out to follow the success of Fly Robin Fly with another dance floor anthem. Written by Sylvester LeVay and Stefan Prager, Get Up and Boogie stood out for one remarkable reason. The entire song revolved around just 2 phrases: Get Up and Boogie and That's Right.
That's right. Get up and boogie.
Repeated again and again and again. Yet its irresistible beat, lush string arrangements, and unstoppable energy made the impossible happen. The song climbed to #2 on the Billboard Hot 100, held back only by Wings' Silly Love Songs. It also reached #1 in Canada and became one of the defining disco hits of the era. Silver Convention continued recording for several years, but never matched that commercial success, leaving behind 2 dance classics that still fill dance floors today.
Get up and boogie.
Many of the artists on this list never reached the same heights again. But sometimes, one unforgettable song is all it takes to leave a lasting legacy. Nearly 50 years later, these melodies still live on in the hearts of millions. If one of them brought back a special memory, share it in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more legendary songs and timeless musical memories.